Albert Ayler. I'd never heard of him until one day a man called me and invited himself up to visit me, and I received him, and he told me that he was working for a cosmetics company. But he'd gone to high school with a friend, and they'd worked in a band. All through high school, they'd played quite successfully in the band. And he spoke reverently of this friend and said, I must hear him. He's very, very important, and he was very insistent. And he mentioned that his friend, Albert Ayler, was going to be doing a kind of a Christmas, New Year's, Sunday afternoon thing at the Baby Grand Cafe on 125th Street in Harlem. And so I agreed I would go. And it was snowing out. I remember it was a cold, dark, it's a very somber day. And I walked up Broadway to 125th Street and went into the Baby Grand, and people were sitting with their coats on because it wasn't heated. The bartender was polishing glasses and trying to ignore it. But Elmo Hope, I think, and a trio were playing, quite beautifully actually, and there was a scattering of people in the club. And I sat listening to it, and suddenly, I don't know where he came from, this small man in a gray leather jacket and pants jumped up on the stage with a large saxophone and started to play, playing great torrents of sound, cascades of music, spellbinding. And Elmo Hope and the other musicians looked up from their instruments. Elmo Hope quietly closed the piano. The bass player parked his bass. The drummer put his sticks down. And they all sat back to listen to this phenomenon. And he played solo for 20 to 30 minutes, but it seemed like a second, actually. It was so engrossing. When it was over, he jumped down from the stage, sweated. And I remember I approached him and thanked him for his playing, and told him that I was starting a record company. I wanted him to be my first artist. I remember at that time, because I think this was before the October Revolution, I remember at the time thinking to myself, oh, you are you? I was listening to myself telling someone what I was about to do. I must have harbored that idea for a while. Albert unhesitatingly and gravely, quietly said he would record for my new label, but he first had to get through some commitments. He had made a commitment to record in the spring, and to my consternation, he explained that he would be ready probably in May or June. Well, this was only December, but I had no choice in the matter, so I indicated to him that I assumed he would call me, and he said he would. And in fact, he did call me in June. And we agreed that he would record in a tiny studio off Broadway, a little Latin studio, hole in the wall. And when he showed up, it was with this trio. It was with Sonny Murray, this great, amiable giant, and slender, shy Gary Peacock, and his wife Annette Peacock came by to listen. And so I met them, and they went in to record. And I sat with Annette Peacock on the steps outside the control room as the music filtered in from the control room. And as I heard it, I was absolutely ecstatic. I thought it was some of the most gorgeous music I ever heard. It was very unfamiliar to me. I hadn't heard music of that nature before, but it really moved me. And I looked at Annette, and she looked at me, and I thought, what a wonderful omen for the launch of a company. I said, this music is great. And she nodded her head as well.